Okay, now we're ready to get the swamp cooler de-winterized and get it ready to start up for the summer. To get your swamp cooler ready for the summer, you'll need a new set of pads, wrench, pliers, tape measure, scissors, or a knife. Handyman Matters likes to make it a practice to change out the swamp cooler pads whenever we start up a swamp cooler for the summer. The reasons being that while your swamp cooler is sat over the winter, there could be odors that have accumulated. There could be mold that is growing in the old pads. Because new pads are inexpensive, it's just a good practice to do. First thing, remove the swamp cooler cover. The next thing you're going to want to do is remove all the side panels to the swamp cooler. Now, something we had noticed when we started to winterize a swamp cooler is that the pads were starting to show signs of discoloration and wear. So we are prepared to replace the pads as we're getting the swamp cooler started up. Depending on the size of your swamp cooler, in most cases you will need to cut the pads to fit. You can get them in a version of rolled straw or a styrofoam type material or even paper. This is called Duracool. It's a blue styrofoam type material. When you're getting ready to get the new pads cut, you will need to take a measurement on the inside of the casing for the pad. This one here is just under 28 inches. And the height is 28 and a half. Now when cutting your pads, cut them 1/4 inch larger. That way you can make sure that the pad will fit snugly all around the casing. When taking your measurements, don't measure inside the frame. Measure past. The frame usually wraps the pads, and you want to make sure that your pad fits the entire casing. Pop out. Get the new pad ready and roll it out. Measure the width of your pad first. We said 28 and a half. We're going 1/4 inch larger. That's going to make it 28 3/4. What I'll do is I'll make a cut at the bottom at 28 3/4. Then I go to the top and do the same thing. And then cut a straight line as straight as you can all the way across. You can use a level or a T-square if you choose to, but if you're pretty comfortable being able to cut in a straight line, that's fine also. Okay, now that we've measured and cut our width, let's cut our height. Once you have one pad measured, you can use this as a template to cut the rest of your pads. Before you use this as a template though, make sure it fits snugly inside the one casing you've already opened, and then go ahead and cut the rest. It's always better to go a little bit large. It's easier to trim than put anything back. Now we've finished putting in all 4 of our pads. We're putting in the last cross piece right now to support the casing. And now we're ready to put the pads back on the swamp cooler. When you're putting the pads back on the swamp cooler, take note of where the hoses are. These can move very easily. They need to be slightly angled and within about a finger of width of the edge of the swamp cooler. Reason being, they are going to drop water into this trough along the top of the pad. If they are not lined up correctly, your swamp cooler will not cool efficiently. And now we've turned the water on, and the pan will start to fill up with water, and the float will start to rise until it turns the water off. Now our swamp cooler is ready for the summer.
At Handyman Matters, we're always available to help you with all of your home improvement and home repair projects, large or small. If it matters to you, it matters to us at Handyman Matters.